Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Disaster recovery creates opportunity for scammers. The Chemtool fire's no exception. Consumer advocates explain who might be on a fishing expedition. Legal marijuana sales means millions in new tax dollars for the city of Rockford. A newly approved program could soon benefit communities hit hardest by the war on drugs.
Our mission is to make sure that our neighbors have the food that they need to thrive.
Local nonprofits team up to make sure families facing food insecurity have something to eat. The summertime gap they're hoping to fill. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. Federal agencies join the investigation into last week's explosion and fire at Rockton's Chemtool plant. Some fires are still burning. Officials say the lingering flames should be out in the next few days. Crews will stay on scene to take care of any issues that may arise. Last week's fire forced people within a mile of the plant to leave their homes. No employees were hurt. Once all investigations are complete, results will be made public. Due to the Chemtool fire, the Illinois Department of Natural Resources closed the Rock River to boaters. That shutdown starts at the Rockton Dam and goes up to the border with Wisconsin. The department says navigating that section of the river right now is dangerous. The closure is intended to keep emergency personnel safe as crews continue to fight the Chemtool fire and as cleanup begins. Conservation police also say since the river's so low, keeping boaters out of this area will also make sure emergency equipment can get in and out. Last week's fire sent smoke and debris into the sky for miles. As Rockton recovers, residents are warned to be aware of potential scams. Rachel Perry joins us in the studio. Rachel, you spoke with someone scammers targeted.
That's right, Eric. A Rockton homeowner tells me someone claiming to be from Chemtool called him. He says they wanted to come remedy any damage to his home.
We didn't want to pursue this. We weren't sure who was really contacting us, and especially if it was Chemtool, we were like, this just didn't sit right.
Jim Oster got a call Monday from someone he says was claiming to be with Citizens for Chemtool Fire, wanting to see any damages to his home.
And then I asked if they are a Chemtool employee, and they repeated the same line. And then I asked, are you a Chemtool employee? They said yes.
Clean Harbors and Illinois Emergency Management are going to homes in Rockton. But in a statement, Chemtool tells me no one should be identifying themselves as Chemtool employees.
It's quite possible that they are simply using a phone number of a business, and the business is fully unaware of it.
Dennis Horton is the director for Rockford Region Better Business Bureau. He tells me after weather disasters, scammers will go door to door. He calls them storm chasers.
You engage with these folks, you put yourself in the position of losing your money first, and also provide, depending on what information that you're providing, opening yourself up to identity theft.
Oster was skeptical about the call and instead of giving out any information, told them he would call back.
So I did try calling the number today, and it happened to go to a business in Benton Harbor, Michigan, a tool and die business.
The phone number Oster was told to call belongs to New Products Corporation, a Michigan-based company. They tell me they have nothing to do with Chemtool and no idea why their number is being used. The full statement from Chemtool can be found on mystateline.com. Eric?
Thanks, Rachel. The Winnebago County Health Department's also released some tips to safely clean your home. The department recommends using household degreasing soaps or cleaners to remove any soot from walls, floors, and other surfaces. While cleaning, you should gear up too. That means wearing long sleeves, pants, gloves, and a mask. You can find the full list of guidelines at mystateline.com. 70,000 people asked the state of Illinois for help keeping a roof over their heads. The Illinois Rental Payment Program was started for those who may have been laid off due to COVID and couldn't cover their rent. It's already paid about $70 million to landlords. Any renter who is behind on payments and experienced financial problems due to COVID can apply for up to $25,000 in assistance. That's for up to 12 months of missed payments and 3 months of future rent. Tenants can apply until Sunday, July 18th. We have that application also over at mystateline.com. Northern Illinois University becomes the latest Illinois college to require students to be vaccinated if they plan to return to campus. In a letter, NIU outlines the requirements and incentives. Students vaccinated before the deadline will receive $100 This only applies to those living on campus or taking in-person classes. Employees will not be required to get the shot. The University of Illinois announced earlier this week its plan to require vaccinations at all of its campuses. Over the last year and a half, recreational marijuana sales have generated millions of dollars in tax revenue. A local tax means the city of Rockford will benefit too. Michelle Ravi joins us in the studio. Michelle, aldermen have already decided to invest that money back into the community.
That's right, Eric. The newly approved Rockford Regrow Grant Program is aimed at helping our communities impacted by the war on drugs. The city has a 3% tax on all adult use cannabis sales, collecting $400,000 in the first year. On Monday, the City Council approved this grant program, opening it up for both nonprofit and for-profit organizations to apply for the money. The city hopes the funds will go to local youth programs, communities impacted by gun violence, as well as promoting employment opportunities.
We are allowing community entities and organizations to define for themselves what they believe is going to be effective. And of course, there are measures that they have to lay out and prove, and there will be, evaluation of their projects as part of this grant process. However, there is latitude in terms of creativity of what can actually be funded.
The application period opens on July 1st and the deadline to apply is July 31st. During this first initial round, 5 organizations will be awarded $10,000. Eric.
Thanks, Michelle. For the 5th year, local families get the chance to fill their trunks with free groceries. The first of 3 summer family markets was held today at Wants Park in Loves Park. It's an extension of Rockford's summer meal programs. No registration is needed. Families with kids 18 and younger can get a pre-packaged box of food.
This is just also, supplement, if anybody needs food for over the weekend, or just to really, just offer another option for families with kids that maybe aren't able to get to the pantries every single day. Just another way that we're getting, food to these homes that have kids that aren't in school to rely on those school meals during the summertime.
The Northern Illinois Food Bank, Rockford Park District, and Community Action host the market. For the first time ever, there's a new beefaroo outside the state line. The popular Rockford staple now has a presence in West Dundee, a suburb north of Elgin. It's right outside the Spring Hill Mall. The location was first set to open in January, but that had to be pushed back. United Way of Rock River Valley is celebrating music at the Midway as a retirement party, fundraiser, and an evening of music. It all kicked off at 4 at Midway Village Museum. At 5:30, they'll honor longtime president and CEO Paul Logley, who is retiring from United Way. Then at 6, music starts. Tickets are $10. Our own Whitney Martin and Elliot Grandia are part of the festivities. President Joe Biden announces new efforts to curb the recent rise in violent crime across the country. His plan focuses on addressing gun violence, providing money to cities that need more police, and offering community support. Our Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor tells us more about the plan as she keeps you connected to the nation's capital.
Good evening. The president says these solutions are proven to work, but Republicans in Congress are already pushing back.
These efforts work, they save lives.
President Joe Biden is taking aim at rising gun violence across the country with a new federal strategy.
We'll make sure you can't sell death and mayhem on our streets.
The president's plan cracks down on gun dealers who break federal law and creates strike forces in several major cities to help stop weapons trafficking. It also encourages local leaders to invest COVID-19 relief funds into policing.
To hire police officers needed for community policing and to pay their overtime.
To continue that community approach, White House Principal Deputy Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says the plan also suggests cities prioritize summer jobs for teenagers and reentry options for formerly incarcerated Americans.
Working closely with them to make sure that they have a safe summer.
Chicago is the largest outdoor shooting range in the world right now.
Republicans like Louisiana Senator John Kennedy and Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn argue police departments can't fight crime if they're also under attack. They point to efforts in some cities to cut police budgets in favor of mental health services, housing assistance, and other programs.
It has demoralized police forces and it has emboldened criminal activity, and this is something that has to stop.
But Jean-Pierre says that's an empty argument.
The president has been very clear. He does not believe in defunding the police.
And President Biden is still urging Congress to pass his gun reform priorities, like universal background checks and a ban on assault weapons. In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
Biden's plan comes as the FBI provides new data on gun sales. The agency says background checks stopped more than 300,000 sales in 2020. That's nearly twice as many as the year before. More than 40% of would-be buyers were denied because they had felony convictions on their records. 16% were prohibited by state law. 12% were blocked because of domestic violence issues. The surge in denials came as gun sales spiked.
Now your first warm weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Doom.
Our morning kicked off with a few light showers moving through the area, primarily in areas south of I-90 and US 20, but after those light showers moved off later in the morning, our cloud cover soon followed suit. Now we're seeing mostly clear skies over much of the state line. No rain for the rest of the day. However, we do have two systems that are still brewing that will bring us the likelihood for more rain and even a few thunderstorms over the next couple of days. One is a system of low pressure and a cold front that is currently pushing in to parts of northeast North Dakota and northwest Minnesota that will make its way southeastward toward the state line. And then we have a second system, another system of low pressure currently brewing out in parts of Colorado and up into northwest Nebraska that will also make its way toward the state line. These two systems are sort of going to clash together over the next couple of days and bring us quite a bit of rain for our Thursday and our Friday. As I mentioned, we shouldn't see any more rain through the rest of the day. We're going to hang on to those partly cloudy conditions through the rest of the evening here and through most of the overnight. Right around dawn tomorrow is when we'll start to see more clouds moving in from the west and from the southwest out ahead of this storm system, which will bring us some rain and a few thunderstorms as early as the mid-morning tomorrow. We're then going to see scattered showers and thunderstorms through much of our day tomorrow, so we're going to sort of going to see on and off rainfall, several rounds of rain, maybe a couple of thunderstorms through much of our Thursday. This chance for rain and a few storms even going to last through the overnight hours and continue on into our Friday as well, and we could see even more rain and a few thunderstorms. Now, there is the possibility for some of these storms tomorrow to be on the stronger side, particularly in the late morning and early afternoon hours. Here's what the Storm Prediction Center is thinking so far. Marginal risk has been placed over most of the state line here. That's category 1 of 5. For the potential for severe weather. The higher risk definitely appears to be a little bit further out to our west, where the atmosphere at this point appears to be more suitable for some stronger to severe storms. Tomorrow morning, though, we'll see where our atmosphere sits, maybe talk about shifting some of those risks around. But of course, we're just expecting the potential for very heavy rainfall and high winds. The other hazards appear to be very low when talking about the hail and tornado potential, at least at this point. But regardless of whether we see severe storms or not, we're expecting a very good amount of rain overall over the next couple of days. This is one model's thinking that most of the state line can expect to see around an inch or even more of rainfall just over the next 48 hours, with more rain chances heading on into the weekend and even into next week, which is very good news for us, especially considering now we've seen quite a few lighter rainfalls over the last several days. The ground's a little bit more permeable. Now, here's a live look over the Javon Bay Hospital Riverside campus in Rockford, where we're seeing about some partly cloudy skies overhead right now. Sun is shining. We didn't see these trees blowing in the wind here. We have very strong winds out there for the time being, and we have for most of our day. Temperatures shot up into the upper 70s and lower 80s after spending most of the morning down in the 60s. 82 currently in Rockford, 82 in Janesville, 79 in Freeport, 78 currently in Monroe, and 78 as well for those of you down in Rochelle. Now, the biggest reason why we were able to warm up so fast were some very strong winds coming out of the south, pulling a lot of very warm air up into the state line. You can see wind gusts still very strong, upwards of around 25 to 30 plus miles an hour across the area. Our weather watcher Mike down in Forreston recorded a temperature of 79 degrees recently with mostly sunny skies. Just a little bit of rain earlier on this morning as well. Temperatures tonight going to be dropping down into the lower to middle 60s. We should be back into the lower 80s tomorrow with showers and storms arriving as early as mid-morning or so. We're going to stick with those 80s through the end of the week, with rain likely for both tomorrow and Friday, and pretty good chances for rain through the weekend and even heading on into next week as well.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with David Greenberg.
And then there were two in the Eastern Conference. That is, tonight is Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. Tip-off from the Pfizer Forum up in Milwaukee will be at 7:30. I think it's to be expected the Bucks come in as heavy favorites, with the line currently at 8.5. Last series against the Nets, Giannis was unstoppable, averaging roughly 32 points and 13 rebounds per game. After a few days off and a couple of good nights' sleep under his belt, Giannis should be in full form for tonight's contest.
It's not going to be easy. Like it's going to be hard. You know, we got to play for 48 minutes. We got to trust one another. We got to make it as tough as possible for them. At the same time, we got to focus on ourselves. We got to enjoy the game, and we're going to see how it's going to play out.
This was a cool story announced earlier this afternoon that Zach LaVine is committed to play for Team USA in the upcoming Tokyo Olympics. Considering it's a 12-man roster, this is a big honor for LaVine. It'll also be a great opportunity to work with and develop relationships with some of the league's fellow superstars. Speaking of making rosters, the Ice Hogs announced today they have re-signed goaltender Cale Morris for this upcoming season. Morris appeared in 7 games in 2021 with a 2-3-0 record, a 2.52 goals against average, and a very impressive .923 save percentage. Morris said he's super happy to be back and ready to build upon his rookie season. Belvedere High School has a fresh face in charge of their football program. The job goes to former Rockford Lutheran head coach Tony Ambrosio. Ambrosio replaces Jim Morrow at Belvedere after Morrow resigned following his first season with the Bucks, who went 1-5 this past spring. Belvedere football teams have won only 5 games total since 2016, so it's only up from here. Ambrosio was the head coach at Rockford Lutheran the past 2 seasons. The Crusaders won 6 games and they lost 6 games as well. Ambrosio has also been the head coach at Jefferson and at Christian Life. 3 of his 4 Christian Life teams did make the playoffs. That's it for sports. We'll be right back.
Let's have a look at our first one, Interactive Radar, sponsored by Rockford Auto Glass and More. Had a few light showers earlier on today. We should be done with the rain for the rest of our Wednesday, but the rain will be back tomorrow and Friday with a pretty good coverage of rainfall and even a few thunderstorms as well. There is a chance that some of those storms tomorrow, it's particularly late tomorrow morning and into the early afternoon, could be on the stronger side. Now, temperatures are going to stay in the lower 80s through the rest of the week and into the weekend as the rain chances continue into the weekend and even into next week.
Maybe we'll put a little more of a dent in our rain deficit. Thanks, Kevin, and thank you for spending some time with us. Stay safe.